Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a max effort upper day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. Be greatly appreciated. So today I decided to work on some of my wider grip stuff. No, that doesn't mean I'm changing my mind. I am going to almost 95% chance close grip at Worlds, but it doesn't mean I need to completely neglect my wider grip pressing, because we do need to be well developed. It will bring up some possible weak points, better overall hypertrophy. So I decided to do pinkies on the rings, which I classify as a wide grip. It's not an ultra wide grip, right? Because if you guys recall, I have 5 different grips. If you guys remember my video on grips, I gave you guys 5 different grips a couple years ago. And I'm like, all of these can be used as conjugate variations. It was closed, medium, wide, very wide, and then illegal wide. All right. So this would just be wide. And I managed to get 335. It felt pretty heavy. Bar speed moved really good, but it felt heavy. Okay. That was at least 95%, if not higher, of my max on that movement. But keep in mind, it was very strict. We came to a stop at the bottom. Legs are straight, right? It was a straight leg, super strict floor press. And it felt the slowest right off the chest, which is what we expect. But what does this tell us? It tells us that it's not just the fact that I went close grip again. I worked on my triceps really, really, really hard. We did a lot of close grip benching, which again got stronger real fast from the tricep work, which probably made all my pressing muscles stronger. You know, plus we've worked on a lot more delts and stuff too. So I decided to, again, do my rep work with that. And the camera, I put the camera in too close somehow. I didn't think I put it really any closer than normal, but it just could be the way this GoPro, and I still can't always figure out the settings on it. I am not a tech guy, by the way. So when people ask, why don't you do this or do that? I'm like, could you talk to me in English? Like, could you put that in layman's terms? Assume I'm a complete idiot about audio and cameras. Even though I've been doing this a decade, I don't really understand it. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. When it comes to some of the tech stuff that I have to work with every day, I'm basically an idiot. So, but what I am good at is making people brutally strong. It's what I do. Now, that being said, I decided to do some Skullcrushers today. Yeah, I like the JM presses, but you know what? I like the Skullcrushers too. I don't want to leave them completely out. And, you know, JM presses can probably be a little harder on overall recovery. And I'm like, well, my pecs and delts are getting plenty of work with the wide grip stuff, plus I'm doing delt work. So I don't care about the JMs as much today. I'm like, let's just do some Skullcrushers. See if we can get a little heavier than we have been, and we did, right? I went with 83 pounds on these. Went with 83 pounds, got 3 sets of 10, decided to put my real volume into the band work, which I did band work this weekend, a little bit of my off days. And that was kind of the idea. Let's just work the triceps. And because I felt weakest at the bottom there, I'm like, maybe I need something that lengthens the tricep. Maybe if I keep building the triceps and I get the triceps to pop a little harder out of the bottom too, maybe my wide grip stuff won't suck as bad. You know, maybe it won't suck as bad. But I wanted my real focus to be on the band work, which is what really did the most for my close grip. And I don't think people understand that. I cannot undervalue that. It cannot be stressed enough that that has been one of the biggest things to bringing that close grip bench up, is the very, very high volume band press downs. Because we can do so much volume and it's restorative to the tendons, the hypertrophy potential is very, very, very high. Because again, it has to do with, you know, are we recovering from it or is it just beating us up? You know, more volume, as long as we're recovering, is always better. The issue is the recovery side. And for a lot of people, they might find that their volumes are considerably lower than someone else's before they can no longer recover. And that really is the issue with the volume end of things, is the recovery side. There's just simply a point where you start being unable to fully recover workout to workout to a certain amount of volume, and which you do, you can grow potentially less. So that's really the name of the game. It's tension, volume versus recovery. Or tension and volume versus recovery. Those are your big factors for hypertrophy. So we did the Skullcrushers, which again felt good. Weight went up. The closed grip benching, the floor pressing. I mean, we did 225, and I managed to get 12 reps on the last set, so I could probably go a little heavier. And I'm debating if on Thursday after the speed benching, if I want to do some McDonald bar work or just more floor pressing. And I may rotate my grips on the speed bench. And it might be the way to go. That will also help with overuse since I'm not rotating bars and stuff as much. Might be worth a try. The dumbbell rows, again, you guys can't see here like you could last time. I've got to adjust that camera better. Because one thing people notice when I'm contracting, it's up like, wow, your forearms and arms are a lot bigger than they used to be. It's like, yeah, they are. They've grown. They've grown substantially. No, I don't know what my arms measure right now. I don't care because I'm not a bodybuilder. Like, none of that matters. It's like, are my triceps growing? That's what I care about. Are they getting stronger? And we can quantify that with strength. But yeah, I'm at a point where if we're doing 20 sets of rows a week, that handles most of my bicep, forearm, and grip work. Right? It handles all that stuff quite well. And I'm not worried about it. And again, that comes up too, people, you're not doing bicep work. I'm like, it's right, because I don't want the tendons to get inflamed. Biceps have the lowest threshold of any major muscle in the upper body for hypertrophy. That's what study after study shows. And everyone wants to just pound them into the ground, and then they wonder why their forearms hurt. They wonder why, deadlifting hurts when they do a supine grip or any of this stuff, with the mixed grip. It's like, well, you've done it to yourself. I don't know, quit overtraining your biceps all the time. They're not even that important. They don't even need that much work. Triceps is really where it's at. And I'm not saying, biceps should be ignored per se. I'm saying people overvalue them. They're such a small muscle, even when they're big, that, they're just not that big of a deal. And I think that if your pulling volume in general is high enough, unless you're serious about bodybuilding, which I'm not, they're probably not worth worrying about that much, to be honest. If you want to do a few sets, go ahead. I'd recommend something like bands or hammer curls, though, if you do. I like hammer curls. I do them sometimes. Just haven't been lately. But we went with the dumbbell rows with 105 pounds, which is really challenging for me for sets of 10, doing it strict like that. Upright rows. I feel like this is the best bread and butter shoulder exercise for me. I didn't do laterals today. I did my 5 sets of this and just did one high rep set of band pull-aparts, just to get a second shoulder exercise in and to, give a slightly different stimulus to finish off. But, next time, we very well might go back and do some lateral raises again. I think on dynamic day. So we did the last couple workouts. Definitely last workout. Maybe on dynamic day I'll come in and do it. But I just knocked out a quick set of 25 on the pull-aparts with this red band. I do these sometimes off camera, and I don't ever really show them. I don't even film myself. I don't even know what they look like. So I'm like, let me just do a set here just to get something else done for the shoulders that's, potentially really beneficial, and then get to the band work. So we got to the band press downs, and I went heavier again, back to the heaviest I've used. And I wanted to just get as many sets as I could before the pump got so extreme that I couldn't go on. And I managed to get to 7 sets. I'd like to build it back up to 10. All right, we got at least 30 reps. A couple of them I got a couple more. Some of them I had to rest pause to get to 30. But, 30 sets of 30 reps. So we got over 200 reps. Just say for one workout is pretty good, considering it's the doubled over red band in each hand. Okay, that's a lot of tricep tension. I mean, to put in perspective, you guys saw me close grip, and I was about at this a few weeks ago. My best close grip bench so far, and that's 16 inches apart, means finger on the edge of the smooth. I got 365 with a pause. So this gives you an idea of how much tricep strength this is equivalent to, especially with my longer arms. But I'd like to get them stronger. I'd love to get these up next with these bands to, maybe sets of 50. Get them to sets of 50, and then maybe try to do it with a pair of blues, which would be crazy. If I can do that, I've got the triceps for over 400 pounds. Easily. But, we're not there yet. It'd be nice to work towards. But again, triceps were kind of the name of the game. You know, triceps were the name of the game. Upper back and triceps. But we didn't neglect lats. We didn't neglect pecs. See how that works, guys? We still hit them. Just putting a higher priority towards some of these muscles that are potential weak links. But, you know, ridiculous tricep pump doing this today. Absolutely ridiculous. Almost borderline crippling to where I couldn't move my arms near the end. But that's okay. It's therapeutic for the tendons, builds the tendons up, which will allow me to continue to do all the heavier pressing. But I think if I camber the triceps super hard, I can do a little more wide grip pressing to get a little more muscle balance. And then my closed grip will just keep climbing as a result of it. It'll get stronger no matter what, as long as the triceps get stronger, particularly at the lockout strength. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.